Hello, fringers. The following podcast may not be suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Look alive, fringers.
It's 2099 and we are live and loud in the underground. From the streets to the scar. Keep your chip hidden, your gun loaded, and never trade your soul for souls.
Turn it up and let them know.
Big Brother is watching. Time to put on a show.
Hello, Fringers. Howdy, Blue Blazer regulars and big booties. Welcome to episode 13 of Neon Trails and Identical Actual Play. We're back, y'all. It feels so good to be back in the studio with everybody. I am your game runner, the Caleb G. It's 2024. Life is a chaotic blur. Time has not yet returned to being precedented, which is totally unfair. The 90s were 30 years ago. And we're spinning on a ball in nothingness. But you know what? We're here. We're together. We love each other. We love you. So let's say hello to our cast who knows that if we blow this today, there ain't no tomorrow. First up, yes on one, no on two, it's Mallo playing Galen.
Deep Space Nine and Babylon 5 were over 30 years ago. I just broke a hip sitting here.
DS9 had an episode where they traveled in time to 2024.
This is true. This is true.
No, next up, no matter where you go, there you are. It's Wild playing B.
I am here, and I am now just realizing how old I am, and I did not need this disrespect, to be honest. However, I will tell you that I am still young enough that I am educating others on young people language, and that is a very weird in-between.
No cap.
Strange. Bet.
No cap. It's a little chooky, though.
That's the most I could do. Now I'm lost. He has been ionized, but he's okay now. It's Pete playing Dog.
What's up, dogs? Now, I have a pro tip for you. If all of that was a little depressing, you're like, oh, I'm old. One thing that gets me through is look it up. Carl Sagan, Pale Blue Dot. Optimistic nihilism. It helps. Nothing matters. We're on a blue pixel. It's fine. Yeah. Just do what you like. Do what you like.
It's fine. History is made at night. Character is who you are in the dark. It's Lauren playing Drall.
I'm not really sure what planet I'm on or what the timeline looks like, but I'm happy it's here with you.
And they've come for his TV. He's been using too much juice. Another 10,000 kilowatts again this month. Beats me how an old homicidal Luthi can use that much power. It's Ethan playing Mox.
And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards solace to be born. We shall see.
Oh, we shook off that rust with aplomb, ladies and gentlemen. Let us get to our usual housekeeping. Identico is, of course, live every Tuesday on twitch.tv/Identico, alternating games of Chaos Incorporated and Neon Trails every week at 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesdays at 7 Pacific, swing over to twitch.tv/Humanoid HQ for the weekly Super Show, where Alex and Mallo dig into all things related to your favorite games, shows, music, and movies. You can see episode archives, how to play videos, and clips over at youtube.com/Identico or Humanoid HQ. Be sure to subscribe, leave us some comments, and tell us what keeps you more or less sane in this nonsense world. Please follow us.
Lemonade is a refreshing drink made from lemons. Humanade?
We can leave that for imagination. We don't need to answer that.
Is it Soylent Green?
It's
refreshing.
people.
Differs from person to person. Please follow us on the socials. where you can look for announcements, news, and general shenanigans. Look for us at Identico or Humanoid Games at whatever social media platforms you tend to use. Swing over to playidentico.com to pick up the book, read the core rules for free, read The Good Doctor, look at stickers, and find some other merch if it happens to be there. Oh, look at those handsome books. If you are live with us right now, if you have some channel points, throw them our players' way. They're going to need them. These next few episodes are going to be a lot of rolling. Please check out our show affiliate, Greenleaf Geek, for some incredibly cool dice. They're also doing a backer kit right now for some neon dice, and I think Mallo is going to make that link available for all of us. Speaking of Mallo, anything else we need to share or go over?
If you are in the Seattle area, we have been confirmed. We will be back at Emerald City Comic Con this year. It is the preeminent Comic Con in the Pacific Northwest, with huge turnout and things like that. We will be playing. There will be an announcement of games that we will be running at Emerald City Comic Con, thanks to our friends at the RPG Library, the Alexandria RPG Library, as well as we will have myself, Alex, and I'm going to strong arm Wild and Pete to be there with us, as always, to come and man the booth with us, as well as several of our artists, as well as, I believe, several of our dice vendors will be there. It's an entire Identico-a-thon, basically, at Emerald City Comic Con. So come by, check us out. We'll be having a lot more on the social medias and things like that coming up here soon about where we're at, located, and things like that on the main floor. But I just wanted to let everybody know that we will be there. We've been talking about it a little bit on social, but come hang with us. It's a good time, I promise.
That'll be cool. And now it is time to jump into the way, way, way back machine, remembering before our winter break what happened last time on Neon Trails. The crew discussed what the Kobold Masquerade might be. Drall connected the dots with some of her ongoing research, tracking the activity of ultra-elite members of society. While she had never identified exactly what they were doing, she had found evidence of them gathering regularly and investing a lot of souls in weapons and defense technology. It could be an exclusive club, but it could also be the secret puppet masters controlling the world and the source of all evil. A lively debate about the nature of shadowy organizations happened, along with B wondering if she had a one-night stand with an evil overlord. During the discussion, the grid site eventually displayed a message about an agent being dispatched to the crew's location. Everyone was sure this translated to a second date for B, and definitely was not ominous in any way. Galen pulled B aside for a heart-to-heart and to ascertain what she and Callisto had discussed. Drall then scrolled the job board and found a few potential new gigs for the crew. After discussing the potential risks and rewards of each job, they decided to take a job from Reginald Hicks, a street doc. He needed the crew to travel to an abandoned prison he had, quote-unquote, learned about. It's a hint. To salvage some old medical gear and cyber tech. The crew decided to leave the following morning and to retire for the night. Mox gave Dog a new kimono with the special feature of a belt. B spent the night clearing her place and then woke up early to get breakfast for the crew. Along the way, she visited Ferdy, mentioning she'd be out on a job and including super casually that an agent from the Cobalt Masquerade was probably on their way. Ferdy became super serious and worried when hearing about the Masquerade. It was clear that they had dealt with this group before and that there was a clear and present danger to B and Solace. Ferdy said they would handle the agent and discuss it with B when the job was over. Drall visited Paperboy on the way to meet the crew and asked about the Cobalt Masquerade. Paperboy said they were an exclusive survivalist club buying up defenses against the end of the world and were slightly less dangerous than corporations. He cautioned Drall against ever interacting with them. The crew met at the Winnebago and set off on the 8-hour drive south to their job's location. Along the way, they got a text from Mercury telling them to give the Santa Fe Metroplex the bird as they drove past. The crew discussed what the Cobalt Masquerade might really be. Oh, no, that was a copy and paste. Let's just pretend that ended right with Mercury saying flip them off. I didn't say anything else. Nope, I copy pasted wrong. Anyway, let's get into the show tonight. You are in the Winnebago. You are on an 8-hour drive south and eastish from Solace. The road you're on is not one of the major multi-lane superhighways that are used for cross-country shipping, but it's also not just a dirt road through the wilderness. Think of a modern-day state route. It's paved. It's a surface road. It could really use some repair. Just no one has money or authority or care to do it. The drive is long and boring. A few groups of other vehicles drive past as you go. There's a small convoy of merchant trucks with cybered out bodyguards mounted on the roofs. There's a gang on 4x4s decorated with plastic palm trees and vultures all wrapped up in Christmas lights. A group of marshals mounted on horse drones rocket past, chasing low-slung, tricked-out sports cars. You see settlements here and there, small groups of buildings clustered around water supplies or nestled in the shade of rocky outcroppings. Eventually, your view is overtaken by the Santa Fe Metroplex. It starts slowly, the fringe of the plex building on the horizon like storm clouds gathering before a summer squall. Soon, monolithic structures of chrome and glass dominate your view, stretching up into the clouds that are tinted by the auras from holographic neon displays pulsing out with advertising and news feeds. An odd cognitive dissonance forms when you consider how large the city seems right now, while also knowing it is over 100 miles away. As you continue south and swing east towards your destination, the Metroplex fades into the background but never leaves your view, reminding you of the corporate dominance over culture and life. During this drive, is there anything any of you want to do, accomplish, talk about?
Yeah, I was gonna say we definitely do that part at the Megaplex.
Of course.
You know, Daddy
Eventually
Mercury asked us to do it, so of course we got to do it. You know,
It gets you try to keep it up for a while, but then it just goes on and on and on. Your arms get tired, so you go on.
Ads my ass.
only it's total trucker type thing though, because only one arm is now getting sun. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's about an 8-hour drive. You left at around 10, so you take a break here or there. You're mostly driving through the heat of the day. The Winnebago has blinds. They're all mismatched, different colors, different patterns, different shades. So you can get a nap, you can get some shade in there, whatever you want to do.
It's what I could find. I mean, really,
Scrounge it together.
Yeah. Galen will do most of the driving with the, occasional get up and, stretch the legs and things like that. But for the most part, we're just going to keep plowing on through. But there's always the side seat and stuff like that if people want to come and sit down and chat and do their kind of thing and stuff like that with it. But, he's kind of keeping up, scanning as he's passing these people, kind of giving them the, that thing where you kind of put it over the thing and you just kind of give them the two fingers, like as you go past, like, yep. Just kind of doing one of those kind of things as they keep going. Not really trying to draw attention to them or anything like that, but also trying to, just kind of keep it casual, like, we're in a giant Winnebago bus. Like, we're not trying to, like, stand out here.
And that's normal. Galen has driven the country for a variety of jobs. no one cares this far out. Unless you are specifically chasing or being chased, probably no one cares what you're doing. They're getting from point A to point B. You're getting from point A to point B. Why take the risk of interfering with that travel? So it's not abnormal to see other people on the road, of course, but it's also totally normal to not interact with them other than the wave.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah.
So long as we're not drawing attention to us, we're good. We're golden.
No. Yeah.
Galen, I don't know if I ever asked your permission. Do you mind if I hook Argoth up to the speaker system in here? I mean, he's got a good built-in speaker, but it's only one.
Oh no, man. We got surround sound now. When we had to redo after the monster attack, I added more speakers in the back too.
Fucking love you. Argoth, go ahead and play Hotel California on the Windy Bagel.
Galen kicks his hat back just a little bit more when that comes on and just starts kind of bopping his head along.
And Mox is just lying down on one of the cushioned areas in the back section. Just.
Amongst this is Drall, who's sitting cross-legged against someone else's chair. She's basically a kid with a tablet with her glow. She likes to watch AI altered videos of megaplex residents, leaders falling. So she's mostly doing that. It's her little way of being like, fuck you. You're just like everybody else except shittier. And so she says that from time to time, or something like, you cotton identity muggins, or something along those similar lines. But she's mostly dialed into the glow, just diddling the time away.
Drall, being the one who took the job, being someone who tends to focus on plans, is there anything you want to look at specifically in this job posting? Any research you want to do before you get there?
And so this is the going to the Reginald Hicks one, correct?
Yes. So this is the prison salvage job.
Prison salvage job. The thing that Drall always does when she takes on a new mission is she scouts locations. She usually looks for blueprints, any records of construction, anything she can kind of piece the layout together with. She always likes to look at the surrounding areas, if there are any settlements, any metroplexes nearby, any outposts, just to kind of try to steer clear of that. So mostly she's going to be doing that additional research between very hyper-fixated video streams of people falling down. And
priorities.
It's good. Obviously, she's cracked a little bit. But so she's going to try to figure out our best way to get in, where she thinks what we are looking for might be in there. Place of interest like vaults, or like locked doors, or doors that don't make sense, or things like that.
Cool.
To that end, Caleb, this old prison fort and stuff like that, do we know who ran that prison?
I love that you asked that. Thank you so much. I would love you to make a maybe a corporate knowledge check for me. Because here's the thing. Reginald just told you it was an old prison that's been abandoned at this location. Here's the coordinates. And Drall, when you pull in those coordinates on the map, 0 results. It is Dirtball City. No settlements, no towns. If we're thinking about the map, so if you're going south from the Santa Fe Plex, you kind of swing back east, aiming towards that big right-angled dog leg on the Texas border.
Ooh.
There's no other plexes there. You're nowhere near the border. You're just pointing in that direction. This is plumb smack middle of backwoods ass nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's
She's
no
dry.
Yep, no major roads, no major plexes, no settlements. You can zoom in, pinch and zoom as much as you want. There ain't nothing there.
Enhance.
Zoom and enhance. That speck of dust is really good.
Yeah.
There ain't
Mallo,
shit.
what'd you get on your check?
18 on the die, so 20 total.
Oh, okay. You know that very frequently corporations have off the map locations to do even worse things than what they do in the plexus.
Mm-hmm.
You do not know who specifically ran this one, but you do remember a rumor from maybe 5-10 years ago that there was this off the map black site that was doing some really weird, messed up cyber experiments on prisoners.
Yeah.
And there was something that shut it down.
That would have been probably run by, like, the largest, like, or the most likely that Galen would know from his Leo backgrounds would probably be detention. And he would have some of the basic layouts of some of the prisons, at least to have some bit of information. Probably not this exact one, obviously, if it's a black site kind of thing. So he's going to kind of hand back his glow to Drall and be like, I don't know what you can make of this thing, but, like, you know, go for and conquer with what information I have kind of thing. And he'll pull up some of the basics that he's got from more of the local facilities that he used to book people in and stuff like that.
Yeah, so this is kind of like when you look at an apartment listing and it's like, oh, here's the 2 bedrooms, here's the 3 bedrooms, here's a detention low security site, here's a detention high security site. It's bad. It's real bad. In general, you know that a lot of detention sites are buried. They're underground or set back in a mountain. The fact that we can't see anything on the map itself indicates that it's probably underground and then was wiped off the map from people looking for it in that true black site fashion. Looking at some of the general schematics and background ideas, blueprints, you feel like there's probably a sound bet that there are some staff levels that are their gear, their sleeping area. There's somewhere for prisoners to be processed and then moved securely to a different part of the facility. So there's like 2 wings almost. There's where the guards are and the staff are, and then there's where the prisoners are. Galen, you remember hearing about a black site out here shutting down. Some people said it was just funding. Some people said there were riots, and the whole thing just burned down after an epic battle. And you're not sure which is which.
Gotcha. Okay.
Drall, if you kind of take Galen's information and kind of scrub it against some of the other information you've picked up over the years, you do not have a actual blueprint. There's no map you can find because this site doesn't exist, at least as far as you are able to access. And that's saying something because you have a lot of data at your hands. But you can be pretty sure that there are going to be a series of security doors and bulkheads. There's going to be some super secure areas for like the armory, for the prison guards and their gear that will be very carefully blocked off from and in a different direction from where the prisoners are. And then there will most likely be a variety of automated weaponry to keep the prisoners in line. At interior and exterior. That's very common for detention sites.
Ooh. Well, she has both glows. She has her glow on her right leg and Galen's on her left. And she's crossed Googling. She's searching forums for people running their mouths about things they found in the dirt. You know, she's just looking for any thread that she can pull. And when she doesn't find that or anything that matches up with what Galen has, she kind of just puts her hand on both of them and she goes, "Attention, everyone." She clears her throat. "I regret to inform you that we are fucked." And she kind of like gremlins over both of the glows, and she says, "They're gonna have freaking like automated sentry turrets. I'm sure of it on the outside and the inside. They're gonna have a prison wing. They're gonna have a security wing. They're gonna have a place that has high security, and they're only gonna have like minor high security. And we're gonna have to kind of funnel through that. There's no blueprint, so I can't figure out where's where. Oh my god, I have no plan."
Drall.
Thank you so much, Galen. And she hands the glow back.
Oxygen. Does the brain good. Take a few breaths. Go again.
Is that good? I don't feel better. We need a plan. We need a plan because it falls apart without a plan. That's the song I just wrote for this.
I'm with Galen. I mean, you found out that there's defenses. Do you know how many? Do you know where? Do you know at what height? Do you know how many on each wall? No.
I would love that information, though. That would be really helpful to us right now.
Yes, it would. But we don't have it. So,
Okay.
I'm with Galen in that that's wonderful information. That's great. I appreciate you.
So be flexible. Okay, so team, we've got this. We're going to be flexible. Right.
Loosey-goosey. Loosey-goosey.
I'm not saying we shouldn't have a plan. I'm all for plans, but we don't have enough information yet to make the plan. We need to scout.
Is no one else worried that it's not actually going to be abandoned? No one else is worried. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we can handle it, though, I guess is what you're saying. Cool. Everything is okay. We're okay. We got this. Got it.
Drall, do you happen to know exactly what we were going in to reclaim? I know, generally speaking, we were looking for medical tech and other cybernetic possible tech, but do we have an exact shopping list?
Yes, you do. You do have a shopping list. So part of the initial communication from Doc Hicks was the shopping list. I can give that to you now. He is asking for 3 pair of cyber arms, 3 pair of cyber legs, 5 sheets of substrate armor. It's like aluminum foil. It just rolls out as much as you need. a guppy unit, a weatherman unit, a healer's hand, 2 berserker units,
Long list.
5 doses of anti-venom, 5 doses of anti-radiation, and 5 med kits.
I wish I had known. I got some of this stuff in my shop. Dang. Not really. I'm kidding.
You know, Galen, that point that he sure seems to know a lot of specific information rings true.
Yes. I mean, at this point, any job that we do, I feel, is a setup of some kind. This has been all for me. So it's just kind of the norm, right? This is how jobs go, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so strange. Like, he's got a very long list of things that he wants, and all of a sudden, I was fine with the cyber parts and things like that, but when he's asking for med kits, you can just, buy at the local store. Like, don't add up.
Yeah, and the anti-venom, like, I know for sure you can get that at any place, especially if you're, like, out here in the Scar. I don't know. I mean, at least we know that there's probably going to be some good salvage, though. Like, we could probably get some good materials for ourselves. If, of course, we don't get shot or mutilated, or we have to take the cyber arms and legs off of people that are alive still there. That would be kind of awful.
Well, I suppose, but...
What?
But I do know how to do that, at least, so it should be fine.
True. I turn back to everybody else. Y'all, we're going to be fine. It'll be fine.
After we all reassure each other that it will be fine, B is going to walk to the refrigerator in the Windy Bagel and just pass out, like, beer. We were saying keep it flexible, and I feel like, there's nobody to get mad at us for drinking and driving, so we might as well chill out if we're already under so much stress.
Galen looks around at the literal desert they're driving through like, no, I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're fine.
And returns to her seat.
Yes.
Easy passive. While they're talking about dismembering people and such, she just kind of Drall felt like everything was actually okay, and then heard that, immediately prickled up the back of her spine, and she's like, I gotta get more. We don't have enough. And she kind of starts to panic a little bit. She keeps it cool so no one notices. She's been working on it. We're all proud of her. But she pulls up her little encrypted contact list. She puts her thumb on that. She puts her password in, and she texts PB, the paper boy.
He responds after about 30 seconds with a "What's up?" GIF.
And then, like, mad, wild stream of consciousness, she starts typing out, oh my God, we're going into the desert and the Santa Fe border, and oh my God, I'll go to the Texas border, and I'm like freaking out because it's like high security and it's like underground, and then like all this other stuff is happening. And then so it's got the like little type things, and then she gets rid of it, and she says, "Hey, comma, do you have any information about any, in quotation marks, abandoned for-profit prisons on the, I believe, southern Texas Republic of Texas border?"
He'll respond back, yeah, detention has a bunch of black sites all over there. Is there a specific one you need to know something about?
Is it possible for me to send him the message that was sent to us regarding the exact location?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send that over.
Okay, yeah, so you can send that to him. He, again, takes maybe 30 seconds to a minute, which feels like an eternity. And he'll respond back, "Oh, yeah, that was the one that tanked because of the riots. They were doing experiments on the prisoners, and they all went crazy and killed everybody. They being next bubble. They being the prisoners who were experimented on, if that wasn't clear." Third message from him. "Who gave you this job?"
Reginald Hicks. It like doesn't even
Like-
know it immediately. She's hovering over this message.
He'll respond back much quicker this time. "Oh, yeah. I think he worked there."
What? Capital W-A-T. What?
I'd have to do a little bit of digging, but I'm pretty
Shovel
sure
emoji.
I'm pretty sure I remember something about him working there and being. I'd have to look it up. I'm sorry. I got a lot going on.
So sorry. Get little frowny face. Didn't mean to interrupt. Just kind of in a pickle. There's a pickle emoji. In a pickle.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just super busy. No, nothing wrong.
Thanks so much. Lunch is on me next time, twice.
He sends back two noodle bowl emojis.
Yeah.
And then he says, "I'm finishing up a job right now, but I'll see if I can dig up some blueprints and send them your way. No promises."
KK, no promises. Thanks. Have a good one.
Peace sign emoji.
Oh, he sent him one back. Guys, Paperboy's getting some information for us. Holy shit. So I know you knew that we did not know for sure what had happened to this place, but definitely experimentations on the prisoners, riot, burn. So ideally, still burned from the riots, but unoccupied. Anyway, more info to come.
How are we sure it's not been
was gonna say-
made into a squatter's place, though? Like,
Insight
don't
check
know.
on. Insight check on. Nobody there.
it's in the desert.
Also, it looks like Reginald Hicks used to work there.
If that's the case, couldn't we possibly get in contact with him, get some more information, know what to expect?
That's what I was thinking. If he's up for it, you know?
I mean, we're doing a job for
I mean,
him.
we
Why
are
wouldn't
doing
he
it
want to
for-
help us out?
We are doing it for him. But what if he's a prick and this is a setup? You see, you gotta think of the two sides of a coin. Two sides of a coin.
So
Yeah, but we could talk to him.
those of you who have lived in Solace if you would like to give me a some sort of knowledge check, maybe an underworld check, or maybe just a general intelligence check about Hicks in general.
I rolled a 10. Very average.
I got a 24 underworld.
Ooh.
I just rolled a 23 insight.
All right. So we will combine these roles in some interesting ways here. Reginald Hicks is not an unknown entity. He is a traveling street doc. He doesn't live in Solace. He is known to drive between settlements out here in the wastes. Kind of doc on call, gig economy kind of thing. You know, you put in the app and you find the nearest doctor. That's kind of what he does. Recently, he, within the last, let's say, 3 weeks, did come into Solace to get some repairs on his truck because it was damaged. Dog and B, because y'all run in these circles of mechanics, you probably traded some drinks or overheard someone at the bar who had been working on the truck that it wasn't just a breakdown, that was definitely some sabotage. Someone jacked up this guy's car.
The plot thickens.
Drall, your contacts, this new surge of information for your research kind of takes you in a couple different new directions now that you have a little bit of focus. And you know that Hicks has some loose connections with Lotus International. B, you are kind of listening to all of this conversation happen. You are not always in the loop with how this corporate intrigue life works, but you know people, you know desert survival. If this really did happen 5-10 years ago, you know that this place would have been stripped to its bones within a couple years. You're pretty sure that if this prison was as dangerous as everyone's thinking it is, everyone would have gone, scavengers would have gone for the weapons, would have gone for the gear. It's very likely that there's nothing left. But that feeling at the back of your mind that's kind of raising your hackles a little bit is the situation around how it crashed, how it became abandoned. If there really was a riot, an uprising, some sort of brutal conflict, it's very possible that the scavengers would have stayed away from this place.
Right. Where would the prisoners go if after the riot, like they would have no reason to leave after they purged the place of the people that were experimenting on them. And it's a perfect hideout.
Yeah. So it kind of feels like you could be walking into an empty room. It's possible that you're walking into a little settlement of people that fought off the oppression of horrible for-profit prison torturers.
Is there a way I can make an extra check to see if B remembers any like scavenger talk way back when, to hear if there were like, you know, crazy new shit coming in from that place over there kind of thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe, well, do you have salvage?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Why don't you give me a salvage check, but modified with your intelligence?
Bet. I got an 18.
Cool. So 5-10 years ago, taking you back to your younger days, little baby B growing up with Ferdy, you definitely sat around the barfly a lot, just listening to stories. At that age, the line between storytelling, exaggeration, tall tales, and facts was very, very blurry. But you do recall that there were stories about people making salvage runs down that way towards the border because of the ongoing border war. There's always those very risky, can we get in and get some salvage from a fight without them noticing? There's always the bets of I can get to point X before you can. I like there's that rumor of the big haul from a fight from 2 months ago, and there's still 3 Rovs out there that no one's touched. Like there's that kind of treasure hunting vibe.
It's the gold rush. They're claim jumping.
Exactly. So part of all of that, some of these people out there jumping these claims, trying to find stuff, they were telling stories about, oh, and don't take X road because it's just a shit show of danger. And while none of them said, don't go to that black site prison, because they didn't know, it kind of lines up as you're piecing together some of these faded memories. Nothing that really tells you clearly what to expect now, but the stories do line up that the danger wasn't just one and done. There was ongoing aftermath.
I think B's gonna kind of have this realization after kind of sitting there and watching the landscape go by for a little bit and kind of just like, guys, I think there are gonna be people there. I mean, people would come in and do scav runs, you know, come in after to the far bly, see Nellie and me, and they would talk about, you know, shit being too dangerous down here, avoiding places. I don't remember all of the context, but I do know that, I mean, if I was a prisoner and I took down the people that were hurting me, I'd stay where I'd already made my home. I'd just make it homier.
Yeah, they wouldn't have a reason to leave, I guess, at that point.
No,
You're saying they really Martha Stewart the place.
I don't know about throw rugs and, you know, blenders and shit, but I do think that, like, It's the prison. If Drall is right, and it's kind of just like in a desolate place. Why the hell would you just run out of a place that you have shelter after you already have all the supplies to make a living there? Especially if you get rid of the assholes.
Well, there's a new batch of assholes coming their way, I suppose. Trying to rob them. Most likely kill some of them. Because, that's life.
Well, I mean, they don't have to know who sent us, and they might have, for the better or the worse, kind of calmed the hell down.
But we're going to go in and rob them. So, that's normally, go make them want to shoot us.
Do we have to rob them, though? We're all very charming people, and I know how to talk to people, and so do you. I mean, I figure...
Have you met me?
Yeah, and I've seen you do some crazy shit. Like, you got all the secrets from that doctor down in the bunker just fine, and then you killed him. It was all good.
Well, if these prisoners are crazy, then I'll do quite well
You'll
with
do
them,
great.
apparently.
We do
Exactly.
talk crazy well. Yes, that's
You
true.
do talk crazy well.
Be crazy. Well, fair. So I guess we want to try the non-violent option first.
We could always go in quiet and then go loud after. It might save us some bullets, at least. I'm tired of making them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Definitely makes me feel better about going in there because I felt so bad. We're gonna go. What if they were still living there? And then we're gonna go be like, yeah, fuck your home. This guy said to steal your shit. That's not nice. Haven't they been through enough?
I mean, they
I feel
are
better now.
prisoners. What did they do to deserve being in prison in a black site
I mean,
in the
it's
middle
also
of nowhere?
it's a for-profit though. Like
Hold on.
anybody could wind up in one of those.
That is the most
Pissed off somebody's dad or something, you know?
That is the most pro-big government stance I have heard from you at this point. The prison industrial complex has been present in this country for centuries, and don't you even think that the cataclysm we experienced in any way changed that? No, if anything, it exacerbated it. You think that just because they're in here, they deserved it? Maybe they just pissed off the wrong person. You and I and every single one of us could be in jail right now if they simply had us.
I'm just saying, I've never booked an innocent person. Maybe that's just me, but...
Hey, you never think you have.
I remember being told about people being put in jail for missing library books. So I don't know if that could just be a bunch of those people, and like, I don't know, people who needed bread and couldn't pay for it too. It has to be a healthy mix. Like, come on.
They used to put people in jail for marijuana. You know that? That happened here in this country. Well, not like this country, but like here.
From the front seat,
Actually-
Galen just reminded. Nope, no. I didn't do any of that. Now, hold the fucking on there. That is not a crime in my book.
Well, hold
Smoke 'em if you
on,
got 'em.
because I'm gonna blow your minds, because I was watching some of those history vids that
Blow
I
his
found,
mind, B.
and they used to put people in prison for drinking alcohol. So we'd all be in prison right now.
Again, I just, for the record, not a crime in my book.
Is this
just for
Galen
the
like
record.
tapping the sign in the
It's he's
Don't
tapping
make
the
me turn
sign
this
up there that's
around.
got like the weed symbol and the alcohol. Like,
It's just thumbs up. It's
yeah.
just thumbs up with everything.
Just
This is
wanting to
okay.
let you know.
This is okay. Everything is okay.
and
you
I
know,
respect
as we're
that
all
about you, Galen.
actively having a beverage on the drive down to this place. So,
All I'm saying is that what is currently a crime is dependent upon who is in charge. So, who knows? Maybe they're not faith-eating murderers. Maybe
Well-
they are, and we shoot them in their faith before they eat ours.
fair. I mean, look, if they're not, then there'll be reasonable people we can talk to, hopefully. If they aren't, then we'll reason with them another way. How's that?
We're good at that. That
Yes.
should be fine. And then it won't be like we were just set up by this guy to go and rob his old experiments. Because that's basically what we're doing.
We're being flexible.
I have a thought, maybe. Now,
Say it, babe.
Okay. Thank you. Whew, I was a little nervous, and now I feel better. I'm bolstered.
I feel like we
Okay.
haven't heard from you this whole drive, so please.
I'm just listening to the debate, and it's great. It's great.
Music a conversation.
It's, yeah. I don't even, like, yeah, it's free entertainment right here. Now, I don't know what kind of garb y'all got, what kind of bags y'all packing, but it occurs to me now, I appreciate your, how do I say this? Sorry, I'll quit beating around the bush. Babe, I love you, but you look and sound a little crazy sometimes. And maybe, maybe we could sneak in and be like, we got a prisoner here. He's fucking nuts. And you could be like, particle generator, Gravitron, down with the bourgeoisie. And they'll be like, fucking right. Lock his ass up.
I just want to say, what you just said to make me sound crazy was fucking brilliant.
I'm not role playing right now. Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah, I know. A little later. But I'm just saying, that's what they'll think. Like, oh yeah, bad bourgeoisie, all this stuff. I'm with you.
I can do that, yeah. I mean, I'm not exactly a thespian, but I'll do my best.
I know you're not, because you and I are together. But
wait.
Huh?
It's not what that means.
What was it?
But
say it. Say it.
Thespian.
Say it.
Look, all right, it's a very difficult voice to do for certain words, and I wish you'd appreciate that more.
I'm just messing. I get what you're saying. Okay. So, yeah. I'm just saying, if we need to do a path of least resistance, we just present you and say the things I said. I won't say it again because I know it's hurtful. And then maybe just presenting Matt, just putting that in the hat. And now I'll just sit back and listen again.
I think
ahead, Henry Kissinger's dead.
That is definitely a possible approach, and maybe I'll get a circumstance bonus to my deception for being actually crazy.
I'm an engineer, but I'm not sure what you just said there. But I agree with you.
Galen continues driving through all of this.
B is very much like, oh,
Thespian.
Yeah. And then Galen's just gonna reach his beer over to the side and try to clink with B.
Cheers, baby, to old loves and new loves and everything in between, except for that one lady, I guess.
Everything in here is beautiful.
Yeah, it's the best kind of family. I love this.
All right. Does anyone want to do anything else regarding the specifics of this job? Any other research? Anyone else you want to call or dig into before we get there? No?
I feel like B's just gonna start like asking more and more pressing questions to Galen about like, so how do you know about this stuff? How do you know about detention? How do you know about the prisons? You locked people up? What were you doing? Why?
Well, when I was before Solace, I was a law enforcement officer in one of the megaplexes, yeah.
Ooh! You hear it from behind your seat.
Drall knows this part.
Yes, but it's fun when no one else does.
So you mean to say that like when I say disparaging things about the law enforcement officers, that I'm saying them around somebody who was a law enforcement officer? Are you gonna lock me up for some of the shit that are you undercover?
Yeah, I'm recording literally everything you were saying to me right now. We will use this in the court of law later.
Can you put a voice modulator on it and make me sound like a chipmunk, though? I think that'd be fun.
We could also do, those things where you pixelate out the body with the black and stuff like that. You see in those documents. Yes, we can totally do all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and also give me like little devil horns. I always wondered what I'd look like with those, especially after we saw that one guy, who was real hot with the bald and the horns.
Yes.
The horny guy.
The horny guy, yes. Yeah. But no, I am not recording a thing of what we're talking about at all. Like, the clear indication right there, hun, was.
Well, so what made you quit? Why'd you leave? I mean, it literally sounds like the worst job ever, but also, like, that's for me, my opinion. Like, why did you leave?
Let's just say there was some extenuating circumstances. And not all cops are good, and not all cops are trying to, to our old man in the back. Not every cop is good.
Oh, so you got caught in one of those dirty cop situations where you knew shit and you try to go and tell people about it and they assassinated people that you cared about?
What's your tragic backstory, Galen?
At that point, Galen winces just a little bit when he kind of does one of those things, but he tries to play it off. And take a real quick swig of beer.
B is gonna reach over and just lightly touch Galen's shoulder and be like, I'm sorry. I talk so fast. My brain goes faster and I often put my foot in my mouth. And if you want to talk about it or you don't want to talk about it, I'm here. I know Drall's here because I know Drall's listening, but we will absolutely take those things to the grave, whether or not that grave is today, tomorrow, or in 30 years.
Well, let's hope that the grave ain't today.
Well, as long as we don't hit any law enforcement officers on the way there, I think we should be fine.
Well, if we do, I'll try to reason with them, and if I can't reason with them, then I'll, Well, I think we all know what we need to do if we can't reason with them.
Why reason when we could just run them over?
Well, I just painted the front of this, okay?
I'll repaint it. I'll make it holographic. I will figure out those chromatic little bugs that they put on that one robot. The DJs, I will figure those out. So help me, and we will have the coolest. You know that movie, the Transformer 3, where that metal guy? Yeah, that's what the Windy Bagel will look like.
That movie is over 100 years old.
I told you I was going through the history vids. I want to learn more about shit.
Fair enough. I'm impressed. I'm just saying. I'm impressed.
It was a scary movie.
I'm sorry, wait. What part of the movie was scary to you?
The Metal Man! Duh!
Some of the metal people were heroes too, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But also, I used to have this one nightmare after I watched that movie where then the metal people would come in underneath my door when I got to have a door closed, and they would be standing over my bed at night. So, I don't know. It's scary.
As this moment occurs, Mox just leans forward through the front between the driver and the passenger.
Excuse me, having a problem with the connection here. Just have to reset it.
Okay.
Yeah, Argo's playing through the sound system. Galen will just kind of pat the hand on his shoulder kind of thing as he keeps driving a little bit.
B's gonna lean over and just kiss Galen on the top part of his forehead, just one of those very much I'm sorry. Look,
nothing to be sorry for now. Nothing to be sorry for.
We appreciate you, and you're driving, or else I'd hug you. So we'll talk later.
I'll keep it between the lines the best I can now.
Want another beer?
Fuck yeah.
Bet. And B goes and gets another round for everybody.
All right, so the rest of the drive continues. Chit chats, silliness, silence as you are kind of debating and weighing what's going to happen in the unknown. It is nearing 6-ish, 6:30. Shadows are starting to stretch over the desert as the sun's starting to go down. And in the distance, you see a black lump, an undefined shape kind of resolve out of the desert heat haze. As you get closer, it does take shape. It's a stocky warehouse squatting on the sand in the middle of nowhere. A sloping roof hangs from the front, casting shadows over 2 loading docks, each large enough to back a semi-truck into. Extending from the warehouse between these doors sits an armored personnel entrance. As the Winnebago gets closer, you see the ground around the warehouse is littered with carnage. It's all been eroded by the harsh sun and weather, but without much effort, you can easily identify smashed rovs and spent weapons. Weathered skulls grin out from shattered body armor. The once smooth pavement around the warehouse has been blasted apart by a variety of explosives. The warehouse itself is smothered with thick, creeping vines that have wrapped themselves around protruding remnants of auto turrets that hang useless and broken. As you take this all in, a small flock of desert carrion birds glide down. Some aim for the warehouse, but before they can land, vines lash out and slash through the birds with razor-sharp thorns. As pieces of the birds fall to the ground, they are snapped up by bulbous, toothed pods. This suddenly brutal moment is interrupted by an explosion resulting from the rest of the flock setting off a landmine after settling on the ground.
B absolutely wants one of those plant clippings.
I should have predicted that.
Duh.
What's
Also,
wrong with me?
Do you have druids in this? What are you doing?
Stop.
He's gonna turn back towards Mox and is just gonna kind of look at him and be like, about that, you got any insecticide?
Just unslings the rifle from his shoulder. Eh?
Good enough for me.
Slow process, but reliable. I've got some C4. And I suppose if we found a few of the ingredients, I might be able to mix up a few things. But offhand, no, not something in my daily carry.
Yeah. He turns back around to the rest of the group. To be clear, never been to one of these before. Not what I was expecting.
The black sides?
The viney, the hentai viney thing that just happened. No, that's never been at a prison I've been at.
You guys, do you think one of them is gonna like talk to us and ask us to feed it? You call us Seymour?
Yeah.
Feed me, Seymour. I mean, that'd be so cool.
So, Dog, as you say that, would be like, oh yeah, the vines, right. Was so laser focused on the turrets that were not. It was just like, we're going to put one of them on the Windy Bagel right there. And the vine, not paying attention to the vines, but you brought it to his attention. Oh yeah, those are a problem too.
I like where you're thinking on putting the turrets on the bagel as well too. Let's table that for after we get through with this part of the thing. because that needs to happen. Because Mox and I were trying to put one up top, but we didn't have any turrets.
In the meantime,
Yes.
while we're still here, do you think... I wonder if there's a way to get the auto turrets working from the outside and direct them to attack the vines themselves instead of us. Maybe if I get close enough, B and I and Dog, we can all put our heads together and see if we can figure something out.
Babe, you're so smart.
I mean, hold on, it might be stupid, you know, but thank you.
So you have the Winnebago parked idling, maybe 150 feet away from this building. It's about a 2-story. It's that matte black metal that doesn't reflect light. It's just a big rectangular building. The front of it, the roof kind of extends out and curves down like a big awning, covering those 2 big bay doors. And there's like a long hallway, almost an armored hallway, extending out between these 2 doors. So if you could imagine 2 semi-trucks like backed up, so they're flush to the walls, that hallway in the middle, so to speak, would come out to where the cabs would be. And from where you're at, you can see that there are 2 like manual doors, people-sized doors in this hall, this armored hall in the middle. There are big turrets on either side of the building. There's a couple on the roof, and they all look like they have been damaged and are just kind of hanging there useless. The building is wrapped in these vines that look anywhere from as thick as your arm to as thick as your waist. They're like a very dark, sickly green. There's like almost like veins of red and purple running up them. And then you see these big pods about as big as a person that you saw one of them like just boom, snap up like a mouth to eat these birds that had been struck out of the air. From where you're at, you can see that these vines are creeping up the side of the building, kind of wrapped over the roof, draping down, kind of hanging down Weeping Willow style. You could take a perimeter, you could get out and look. What do you want to do?
Out of curiosity, Galen, how much extra fuel do you have?
I mean, it's on the E121 battery, so we can go for days if we need to.
Do you happen to have any of the old school liquid fuel, like the backup? Anything flammable?
I've got one thing for like lighting, like, you know, it's on the back of the bagel. You know, one of those gas cans for like lighting fires and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's something. That's something.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
We should probably do a 360, see what is going on all around, so that we have all the information.
If we do that, Drall is definitely going to be just on her glow, just with her fingers sketching out the shape where pods are positioned, where we know that the explosives were before. Just kind of making her own fucking blueprint.
Can we? Is any of the scanners available on the Bago to be able to pick up like metal signatures in the ground? What I'm worried about is if we start to make a 360, we run into a field of hurt.
If only we had a drone with a camera on it.
Do we?
Do we? B?
I mean, yeah, surveillance. We could put Umbra out there. I don't know if Umbra's chassis is going to fit to be okay for explosions, but I do know that I put a lot of like software on there to to see traps and stuff. It's gonna take a little while. Might be dark by the time Umbra's done.
Far as I know, we're not on a time frame.
Yeah, but do we know if anything else comes out at night? Like, if there were experiments here and we're clearly seeing plants that apparently are big enough to eat people and landmines, like, I wouldn't, I don't know. I feel like this is like, you know, those evil layers where they just have things roaming around? Like, we've already seen things, you know, that's why we have Umbra, but what if there are other things?
Well, I hear you, but I mean, if we set up with this stuff to our back, then at least we know one side they won't likely come from without us noticing. So, while Umbra is scouting, I mean, personally, I'd rather know where the mines are.
True.
That's valid. And I know Umbra has some cloaking capabilities, so if anybody is inside, it's not going to be like they can see Umbra sniffing around. Who wants to put up their glow to receive the information? Because, like, I can receive it, but I also need to be able to see real time.
The key's mine.
Okay. I'm going to sync Umbra up to Mox's phone, as well as mine.
Just, there's one particular fault. You know what? Never mind. Probably won't come.
Listen, I've already seen parts of dog that I wish I could burn out of my mind. I don't need to avoid any folders on your phone, but I won't be clicking through it because I have manners. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just don't swipe idly. That's all I'm saying. You know.
That's fine. I'll swipe idly on my own phone.
Got to see.
Listen.
So are we just going to send Umbra in after a little finagling? Are we going to drive all the way around? What's our first approach here?
I think there was a concern that driving all the way around without scouting it first might result in driving onto minefields.
Yeah, I think what we want is Umbra doing a perimeter sweep for us.
Okay.
Not necessarily going straight in.
Okay. So we're going to have Umbra kind of walk the circuit. And do you want Umbra to approach the building? Do you want to make the decision based off of the information that comes back first?
I'd like to make that decision as we go.
Okay.
I mean, especially with minefields, they're probably set up in different kinds of clusters and densities.
So as Umbra starts to walk around, you can definitely see kind of like that imaginary radius or perimeter of where the explosive debris starts and stops. And Umbra is right now outside of that. So if we imagine a circle maybe 50 to 75 feet out from the building as a radius, that's where you see the majority of the explosive debris, the blast marks up from the ground, that kind of thing. You don't see it beyond that kind of imaginary line. Looking at the front of the building where the doors are, you see a collection, like a big mass of the vines in front of the door on the right. If you're looking straight at it, so the big semi door on the right, you see kind of a smaller mass of the vines wrapped around the manual entry door on that long armored hallway. Looking at the left semi bay door, vines for days, just vines, like a huge growth, like a bush. These are like big, nasty, thick, like kudzu vines that would like wrap around a massive tree, but they're wrapping around this building. a huge growth and conglomeration on that door. As Umbra continues around the building, small little growths of vine along either side coming up the walls. Like I said, it's a 2-story building, so about halfway up, about 1 story off the ground, that's where these big auto turret weapon mounts are. It's clear that they would have been able to recess into the building, and they're extended out, so that indicates to you that they probably had been used as part of this fight, so someone was intentionally using them. A lot of the vines are wrapped around these guns, like not like someone intentionally ripped them out with the vines, but the vines have grown and kind of pulled them out a little bit. At the back of the building, so you're parked in the front, there's all this stuff here, so all the way around the back, Umbra's out of sight around the back of the building. There are 2 large garage doors. So think of those big, massive industrial garage doors that like roll up to let a big semi-truck pull all the way through. The one on the left is smashed and bent, and there are remains of maybe 3 or 4 ravs. On the right door, it is covered in these vines, and you can see one of the pods there.
Fuck. I was hoping that was our way in.
You also saw, like, one of the pods on the front garage door, also on the right side of the building. On the left side of the building, you saw a giant mass of the vines, but none of the pods. And you saw vines around that front manual entry door on that long hallway.
Anybody got a weed whacker?
I mean, Umbra can bite real hard, but that's going to take a long time.
Got a machete.
Can I run an experiment and shoot one of the pods?
I like
just curious what
I
happens.
like the way you're thinking.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So, just going to, like, while kind of still shrugging about the idea, just takes Casey Jones and starts to line up a shot, maybe on the pod near the garage door.
Yeah. So give me an attack roll.
Can I miss a stationary object with a 5?
Too many beers.
You do not miss the stationary object, but instead of striking the pod, you hit the stem. Like that massive stem coming from the bottom of it.
Warming up.
And-
Just warming up.
And you see... You would expect a plant to, like, tip over, maybe, or if you punched through the stem, it might tip that way a little bit, like if you took out the structure of it. But instead, the pod actually, like, tips and swings in your direction, like, looking for you. And all of the vines start undulating and waving, reaching out for whatever might have caused this danger. But after, if you don't do anything else after like a minute, if it doesn't sense any other threat coming its way, everything will slowly stop moving.
Hey, dog, do you remember that one cartoon show that you made me watch where it had all them tentacles and they were like, you know, moving around and doing stuff to people? This is what this reminds me of.
Oh, you're into that shit?
You gonna go Talk to him? Negotiate?
Hell no. I was just asking. He said, Mox, he said it was for like education, because I was asking about like old school anime and stuff like that, but like that's but tentacles, they have brains apparently. They can do stuff.
Alright, Dog and I'll have to talk that one out later. But I don't know if that's necessarily relevant right now, fascinating though it is. Hell.
So as this is going on, Drall gets a message from Paperboy. And he says it was real hard to find anything about this specific location. Here's what I could find. And he sends you a couple visual files. And you've got that bird's eye top-down blueprint view of essentially the building you're looking at right now, the ground floor. And you can see that there are those two big garage bays in the front where the semi-trucks could back up, and they're labeled as like prisoner processing. So Galen would know this. Drall, you would probably know this. It would make sense. Like the detention trucks would just back into the building. So the building would seal around them. So the prisoners would come out there in the building to be processed. It's not like they'd be escorted across the outside to prevent any type of escape. You see that there are some banks of computers and desks that are kind of labeled as comm stations, overall reception, so to speak, where most of the guards would be working. There's a bank of elevators. And then the back half of the building is a garage bay where detention vehicles could pull in through those two doors you saw. And there was repair bays and fuel stations and things like that. There are 2 floors below it labeled. The first floor down was the armory. The floor after that was living quarters and medical facilities for the guards that would be stationed here. And they would, again, Galen would know this, they would be rotated regularly. Like you'd have 4 days on, 4 days off, like that kind of thing. And then this is where the information gets kind of sketch. There's another floor that would be just prisoner processing. So in-depth, probably invasive scanning, checking people out, processing them into the facility for whatever they had done or supposed to have done. And then trackers and cybernetic restraints would be applied. And then below that level, kind of question mark, but that's where the actual prison cells are. And that's where the medical, quote unquote, medical facility was, where the experimentation was done. So we've kind of got 2 staff floors and 2 prisoner floors.
So after looking at this, getting excited, the Paperboy message, because, you know, little crushes, she looks at it and she hugs the globe and she goes, guys, the gold mine. And she flips it around and she says, here, just pass it around. Everybody get it. Wait. And she snatches it out of Bee's hand and she takes a picture of the vines, the pods, what we're looking at. Said, add this to your fucking list, smiley face. And then, okay, here, look through it all. Look through.
He just sends back like the looking eyes, the surprised looking eyes.
Yes. Yeah, take a look at that. They've got fueling stations. I'm sure that, look, there's an elevator block that goes to all of these other locations. Like, obviously, the prison at the lowest, but look at this. There's prisoner processing. Oh, what could be there? Oh, this. Ugh, I feel so confident now. Once we figure out how the fuck to get in, we have something. Oh, and you mentioned fuel before. Look, here's a fuel bay.
Mox, I have an idea.
Ooh.
B, do you have a bow or no?
Oh, absolutely. B like shakes out the survival bow, like, here it is. I also got explosives too. Explosive arrows.
Right. We're gonna need those. And can I get everybody's beer bottles? That everybody that's done with their beer bottles.
Chug.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Mox, I will need your assistance at the back of the bago.
Oh, I will meet you there, fine sir.
And so Galen's going to get out, go around to the back. Well, actually, no. Galen's going to go to his wardrobe first and get a couple of extra T-shirts out. And then go outside to the back of the Winnebago. And sans funnel at this point, because I don't think he would be smart enough to have a funnel. But he's going to get Mox's help trying to pour and basically make Molotovs out of these beer bottles. So we can chuck them at the plants on the building and see what we can do.
Sure.
And then as backup, B, I think we're going to need a couple of explosive arrows because we might need to punch our way through that door to get inside.
Where, Drall,
All right.
according to the blueprints, where was that fuel station you mentioned?
It looks like it's on the opposite side of not these two doors, but like if those two doors were one big door on the other side. There.
And that lines up with what you saw from Umbra. So on the back of the building, there's those two large roll-up garage doors. So that compared or added to what Paperboy sent you, those are the doors that go into the garage.
Right.
So that's where detention would put their own vehicles for work, refuel, whatever.
So we should focus on clearing, I think, a way into there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I was
okay,
thinking.
all right,
Yep.
with you.
Yep.
I'm pouring into bottles. Yep.
Yes.
One of the doors did have a pod and the vines. The other door had Rav carcasses.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to bust through the pod and stuff like. Well, the plan in Galen's head is to throw the Molotovs at the pod side of it, so because that's the door that's still intact for the most part, and see if we can get that one up, because the rob parts and stuff like that are going to be great scrap for them for later, but we want to try to get this thing inside just in case people come, or just in case anybody's coming by. Also, like this provides us a place to get inside and hide in case somebody comes by and like at night or something like that too. So, and if we have to, we'll blow the door off the other side, but my hope is we can just kind of burn our way through and not blow up the fuel, but if we have to, we have to.
That big garage door that you're looking at where the pod is completely closed
Yep.
all the way to the ground. The pod with the vines is outside of it, so you can see it when Umbra's looking at it.
We're going to try to Zelda Ocarina of Time this, okay? So we burn away the plant to
I
get
get
to the
that
hidden
reference.
door. Who's got the best throwing dexterity here?
Yes.
I'm pretty good.
I can
Do you
throw.
have
I
the
can
part
throw with
two?
my right. I can throw with my right arm. That's about the best I can do.
I have the thrown perk.
Okay.
Let me just hit my microphone with the book. Hold on.
Super handy. So you're looking at the video feed from Umbra. You can have Umbra go back there and look around a little bit. Again, 50 to 75 feet out from the building seems to be that line where the explosives stop. So if you're gonna kind of edge up to that line and chuck it, that's how far you gotta get.
Okay, if you've got I say we both try to throw.
I also have thrown if you need it.
Okay, well now we've
Let's
got.
all do it.
Okay, yeah, I think we should.
Shit.
I think we should. So we've got at least 3 of them at the moment. I don't know how many mocks filled. But I think we should all try to throw one at the side of this building and try to burn these the plants and things like that off of it. At least get it to a point where we can maybe hack our way through and get inside from that. We'll deal with the landmines in a second. That may be where the explosive bow comes into play. But let's try to deal with the weird how to train your murderous plant scenario first.
Just a question before we start assaulting this building. Has anybody seen signs of life inside? Like, Umber didn't pick up anything. I don't know if anything would be living in there, but we just talked about how the prisoners might be in there.
If they're in there, they've been in there for a little while by the looks of things. That or they have an alternate way in and out. It's highly possible. I mean, being a complex of this size, maybe they had enough potable water, maybe a filtration system, maybe food stocked up for 100 years. Or maybe there's another way in and out we don't know of.
Well, I was just, like, they're gonna think we're attacking their home if there are anybody in there. Can we, we're attacking the plants that are gonna eat us. Can we, yell, this is peaceful, it's against the plants, or something like that after we throw the Molotovs? I don't know.
Yeah,
This is a peaceful Molotov.
You know what? I think
Peaceful
you should do that.
Molotovs!
Peaceful.
I think you should shout that with every thrown Molotov. That would 100% allay any suspicion they have of
Can
us.
you get some masking tape and a marker and write peaceful and put it on the bottle before you...
Why are you upset? It said peaceful.
Didn't you read it?
I can wave a white flag and wear white clothes while I do it. I might help.
We come in peace.
We're taking care of your weed problem. We're just weed killers.
We'll send you a bill after we're done with the lawn. The
They're
landscaping.
avid gardeners and they're super pissed now.
And that's holiday pay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The whole time y'all have been here, and it's been 45 minutes to an hour while you've been looking around trying to figure things out. No movement other than the plants. No life. There are no windows on this building. There's the doors that I have identified that you've looked at. No one, they have not moved on their own. There's no people coming in and out. Nothing. You've seen no signs of life other than the plants killing those birds and then reacting when Mox shot it.
I think we
Well, I
make this like a
guess-
Disco Inferno then.
Here we go.
All right,
Bee's
So
he's gonna throw.
Bee's going to reluctantly but deliberately heft one of the Molotovs in their hand.
So we are standing 50 to 75 feet away from the building and trying to chuck a Molotov that far towards the plant.
Listen, I got a cybernetic arm. It's fine.
What's your strength with that cybernetic arm?
It's a plus 1d8.
Okay. Yeah, give me some attack rolls.
Better.
Hitting a stationary object, not a problem. This is just to see if you can make it that far.
I got a 13.
It gets almost all the way there.
I did have to use it. Well, I mean, splash damage, hopefully.
So the gasoline does ignite and burn as it spreads along the desert from the shattered bottle. It does get to one of the vines and it sets it on fire, but it's not like it's a roaring blaze getting to the pod itself yet.
Yeah, it's just pissed it off.
As before, when Mox shot one of the pod does react to this danger. It doesn't move away. It is stationary.
Right.
But it is responding to the pain stimuli, the danger.
Yeah. Can somebody else? Well, have y'all talked to it yet at this point? Like, it didn't talk back, did it?
Hey!
There's no response from yelling at the plants.
I ain't hear nothing.
Okay, good. So it's not completely sentient. Just checking. And then I look over at Drall and at B standing next to me and all like that. Well, can y'all do better? Please tell me y'all can do better.
I used to play catch with the desert rats and the critters out there. I'd throw things and they bring them back. I have an arm. I could try.
Do it. Show me.
Oh, shoulder, don't fail me now. 17.
And what is B's strength score?
Sorry. My strength is 0. However, my thrown combat proficiency relies on agility, which is a +2.
Cool. Oh, cool. This one gets much closer. Again, you don't hit the pod with it just because of the distance, but you did throw it more or less accurately with the arc kind of getting it there. It hits the desert floor in front of the pod, but that puts it much closer. So now when the fuel splashes on it and burns, it is actually burning that thick stem of the pod itself. The pod is kind of lashing around a little bit. The vines are lashing around a little bit. It is on fire currently, but it's not like it instantly lights up and falls over. It is burning.
Is it screaming?
No.
Okay, good, because I think B would lose it at that.
Well.
It is at this point that Drall realizes that while enthusiastic about chucking the fire, she realized that she has sad little noodle arms and has a -3 to strength. Just kind of looks at it, looks at B, looks at Galen. Yeah, looks directly at Galen, pushes it over to B. Yeah, I think you should probably throw this one too.
Whatever you're gonna do, hurry up and do it. I already lit it.
Fucking throw it! Flinging
Dog
it from
panics.
side. It's totally fine. We've got tons of time.
Playing hot potato with a lip Molotov.
If it's all right with you, old dog will panic and grab it. And then toss.
That's fine.
Yeah, check it.
Jesus Christ.
God. Lord. Oh, my lordy. It's a 3.
So dog does that thing where he just chucks it straight up in the air, but there's enough of a curve on it where it doesn't come just straight back down. But it's real close.
Gusto.
So does
Mox,
it start?
as it is arcing down, like tackles dog away from it.
Thanks, hon.
Wait. Does it?
Hot fly.
Is Is it between us and the door though? So did it just set like the dirt on fire?
Yes.
Y'all, we might want to let's just take a few steps back. Let's take a few steps back.
In fact, since it is between you and the building in that explosion range,
you know what? On second thought, let's run.
It sets off one of the mines, and there is a big.
Well,
Hell yeah, I did that.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll to dodge.
It is not near enough to hurt you with the explosion.
Oh, thank God!
But you definitely feel the like that pressure wave of the explosion, and there's a wash of dust and debris blowing over all of you. So it's uncomfortable for a second.
Dog squinting into the dust. Okay, I got an idea. How much? We got any metal you can put around me? I'll take Susie here and starts drawing out the giant machete. If you want to armor me up, if this is all we got now.
What? The fucking ground's on fire now.
I ain't over there.
Well, do we now have a path towards getting closer to the vine? Like, can we safely traverse our way over there?
Oh yeah, I mean, Mock should have that entire map up on his glow. There should be, a really comprehensive, like, green is ground, that is good. Red is mine, don't step on that, that's bad.
Is this like the Tarkov maps, though, where I just end up getting killed anyways?
I don't know what Tarkov is, but I do remember hearing about video games where if you stand in the red, you're dead, so don't do that.
Okay.
Oh. Are we entering a team building situation?
Everyone hold hands.
Yeah, I think...
Create a human chain.
Yeah, I kind of think we are.
To the door.
Hold on. Hold on. Hey, Mox. Can you send me the file that Umbra's been compiling with your glow?
Yeah,
please.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then B's going to take it, not only share it with the rest of the crew on their glows, but pop it up on a holographic screen so that we can watch where we're walking.
So why don't we have Umbra make a investigation check with the sensor package you would have built into him?
Do you want that just a dry D20, considering I don't have a character sheet for Umbra yet?
Why don't we do your investigation plus the D8 modifier for Umbra as a drone, just like Argos is.
Okay. Hold on, I just rolled the wrong frickin' dice.
Math.
Okay, Umbra got a 4.
All right. So you've got very good photographic details of the lay of the land leading up to the building. Umbra was able to, with their camera, kind of zoom in, zoom out, really get a very detailed overview. You can see a lot of bumps and divots and depressions that feel like somewhere you would install a mine or have a mine there, but you're not super sure.
Can you know that bow idea I had before we decided we wanted to walk into the minefield? How about we try that? And then maybe like throw some stuff again on the ground to try to make a path. Why don't you shoot the plant and we'll figure out how to trigger all the mines between us and the door.
Well, I'm glad you explained that, because I was going to ask if you wanted me to shoot the mines, and in which case, no, because that takes a lot of arrows. But I could do it the other way. And we might also be able to put some accelerant on the explodey arrows and make it more explodey. Mox, you still got that C4?
You know it.
We could do like a little package of C4 with accelerant inside.
That's honestly fair. I mean, if we just... I only have 3 of them. But I mean, if we use one and we just blow up a certain section, we might be able to get a chain reaction and clear a path.
But we can't add a pound and a quarter to an arrow.
No. I'm thinking, right?
Like that much, right?
The explodey arrow is the detonator, right?
Okay.
Because that's pressure sensitive and it explodes when it hits things. So then what we could do is take just a little pinch of C4, right? Mold it into a little container, put some fuel inside, like a little bubble of badass, attach it to the arrow while making it small enough so the arrow keeps flying.
Mox has already pulled out and removed a little section of the C4.
I'm not sure if any of this holds much water scientifically, but you know what? Let's do it. Here is your bubble of badass.
Fantastic. I've always wanted to try this. B puts it on one of the explosive arrows.
Mox, as she is putting it on the explosive arrow, Mox just starts slowly walking backwards and just grabs Dog's collar and is just...
Mox, you know this isn't going to explode unless something detonates.
Yeah,
so
no,
as long as
I know
I don't
nothing
touch
at all could go wrong. Yep.
this pin right here on the arrowhead, nothing should go wrong. Just don't touch this part right here.
Yep. Nothing at all could go wrong.
It's probably fine.
You got this.
It's all right, everybody. Go back in the Windy Bagel. Bunch of sissies don't want to see a cool explosion.
Oh, I want to see it.
This is about to be lit up like the 4th of July.
Hell yeah. Okay, so just to clarify, is B aiming at a pod by the door, or is B just trying to take vines out? Galen.
I would aim for the pod, because if you get the pod and it does big explosion, it'll get the door and everything with it.
That'll be so juicy. I'm so excited for this, guys. Does anybody have any safety glasses?
Fresh out.
Oh, wait, hold on. I have my goggles right here. Puts down the goggles. Knocks the arrow very carefully.
All right, so we are standing at the back of the building, outside of the range of the explosives. We have got an explosive arrow that's got a little bit of C4 wrapped around it like silly putty. And we are aiming at the pod that is near this back garage bay door.
Yep, that sounds about right. Oh God of the sky.
All right. Give me an attack roll.
And just to be clear, I also have combat proficiency in bows, which does use agility, but bows actually use strength as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be a whammy. All right. Ooh, dice don't fail me now. Okay. Got a 15. With my agility, that is a 17.
17. So the arrow flies out. You see it near the pod. I mean, this is a laser quick shot, but you shoot your arrows before, you know what they do. And as you are waiting to see if it hits, you kind of wince back for the explosion. And we will see what happens next time.
No!
So that is the end of episode 13. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for being here, keeping it going. Thank you, future audiences on the YouTubes and podcasts. Come back next Tuesday. That should be the 16th of January for the season 3 epilogue of Chaos Incorporated. You know, all of our shoes have dropped, so I really don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be wild. It is time for So Longs. Let's check in with everybody, see who they are, where they can be found on the internets, what they are doing, starting with Mallo.
You can find me everywhere at the Mallo Man. And if you have not seen the very emotional series finale to Chaos Incorporated, go check it out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Identico. Trust when I say you don't necessarily need to know all 3 seasons worth of information to get the guts of what happened in that episode, but trust me, you want to go and check it out. It is a fine piece of actual play, role playing for you all, and I'm very proud of what the team has done. And I want to see everybody go take a look at it. Also, like and subscribe over there if you haven't already.
And Wild.
Oh, hey, I derp around on the internet at Wildling011 just about everywhere. So if you want to see me repost a bunch of memes and, you know, like a bunch of petty things, go for it. Follow me. But also, make sure to take a second and on whatever platform you're on, like and or subscribe to the Identico podcast that you're listening to. That'll help us see the numbers. We get a lot of Twitch viewers who are awesome, and I love seeing everybody's faces in chat. But also, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, let us know what you think. Like us, rate us, whatever. Just let us know. And also, go support art museums. They're really cool and awesome, and creation is for creation's sake. So go squiggle some doodles. Even if they're stupid looking, you just created something. And that's art, baby!
The opposite of war isn't peace, it's creation.
Bingo!
Hello.
Hi.
You can find me. Actually, okay. I'll be okay. I'm gonna swerve you and do an actual one. Follow the Identico YouTube channel, and you can also follow the Humanoid HQ channel, which I helped to start long ago. And
Hell
Mallo
yeah.
and Alex are there, and they're doing some great content there. So go check it out.
Yeah, great show every week. Lots of clips being posted all the time. So even if you can't stay up late for that late show, you can just keep watching it. Lauren.
I'm in your closet while you sleep. But other than that, you can find me at Thousand Faces Cosplay, just about everywhere, or 95% Lauren if you like the modeling side of things. Interesting things happening in my life. I'm currently crafting sticks out of air dry clay and tinfoil for my fern cosplay that I'm in over my head on. But what I want to say is thank you all for being here, and thanks for riding this journey with us. Role-playing, tabletop anything is just a great way to bring people together and to create a story that didn't exist before we were all in kind of the same realm together. And it's obviously very much a labor of love with this team. So please support Humanoid. Please support Identico. Please support all of these wonderful creators. They deserve to be seen. And you know, I mean, maybe change the filter in your air purifiers. I think that would be a good idea for most people, especially right now. So get on it.
And Ethan.
You can find me on a dark desert highway with cool wind in my hair. But I am the other half of Thousand Faces Cosplay. You can find me online in certain spaces as the Buff DM or Thousand Faces Cosplay. Feel free to come on over to Misty Mountain streaming on Saturdays if you want to see me DM the Wild Beyond the Witchlight module, just ever so slightly darker, with Lauren there as Bodhi the Stoner Turtle.
So man, and even mostly just talks to yourself, so it's really fun to watch.
I mean, that does happen a lot. But yes, thank you for being you, and thank you for being here. Love you all.
And I am on your socials at the Caleb G. You can listen to me right here for Chaos Incorporated. I am here and there with Farm to Fable and taking up a lot of space of the archives of the RPG Academy. That is it for today's game. See you next week. Same cyber time, same cyber station. Please take care of yourself. We love you. Good night. Take your meds, drink some water, eat a snack, clean something, put one thing away. Just one thing away. One little tiny thing. You'll feel so much better. The little things matter. Go outside if it's not too cold or too hot.
And please remember that existence is absolutely absurd, so we might as well try to enjoy it while we're here.
Yeah. Take care of yourself. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
Neon Trails is Ethan as Mox, Lauren as Drall, Pete as Dog, Wild as Bee, me, Mallo, as Galen, and the Caleb G is our game runner. You can learn more about the game we play on this podcast by going to www.playidentico.com. You can join us live for these sessions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific over on twitch.tv/Identico, and you can watch along with past episodes and see additional content like how to play videos over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Identico. Finally, you can follow along with us on the socials at Identico on Twitter and at Humanoid Games on Threads and Instagram. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next week.